Welcome back to the Overlander Outpost. So these talks that I'm having like this, that's what I'm going to call it. It's the Overlander Outpost. Just me talking to you on some of the things that pop into my head, and I'm just going to throw it out here and do some videos on it. So I hope everybody likes this type of thing. Um, so there's a growing conversation. Most people don't take seriously until it's too late. How independent, or let me go back, how dependent modern vehicles are on fragile electronics. Your truck just isn't an engine and drivetrain anymore, unfortunately. It's a rolling network, sensors, control modules, and communication systems. Great for performance and comfort, but it also means one thing. If those systems go down, your vehicle goes down with it. The reality is, most of us don't think about that because everything works until it doesn't. Now, take that a step further. In a high impact event, whether it's a solar flare, infrastructure failure, or something more deliberate, those electronics become a liability, not because they're poorly designed, but because they were never built with extreme electromagnetic disruption in mind. These systems are optimized for efficiency and integration, not resilience against rare but high consequences events. That's where this idea comes in, hardening your overlanding rig so it can still function when everything else doesn't. This isn't about fear or paranoia. It's more about understanding risk and building in layers of redundancy. With that kind of mindset, that leads you to carry recovery boards, winch, extra fuel, a backup navigation, um, preparing for things you're not expecting to fail. You're respecting the possibility of those things failing. So, what does that actually look like in practice? All right, so it starts with identifying your vehicle's critical system, your ECU, ignition system, fuel delivery, or and key sensor networks are what keep your engine running. If those fail, the rest of your build doesn't matter. You can have the best suspension, the best tires, and the best gear and equipment in the world, but if your truck won't start, you're stuck and none of it matters. The goal isn't to shield the entire vehicle because that's not realistic. Instead, you're focusing on protecting what's essential and minimizing vulnerabilities. That can include shielding sensitive components with conductive materials, improving grounding paths, reducing unnecessary exposure and wiring. Even simple steps like rerouting wires, adding ferrite chokes, or isolating critical modules can make a huge difference in how resilient your system and in turn your vehicle is. This is where things shift from theory into hands-on engineering. You're not just talking about preparedness, you're physically modifying your rig to handle conditions most people never even consider. And the more you understand how your vehicle is wired and controlled, the more effective the modifications become. But it doesn't stop at the vehicle itself, right? Your rig is part of a larger system. Your ability to communicate, navigate, sustain yourself. Radios, GPS units, power management systems, battery setups. Okay, these are all just critical as your engine in a real world scenario. If your vehicle survives, but your communications gear is fried, you're still lost a major capability. But you didn't lose everything. So you can kind of chalk that up as a half a win, I guess. So now you're thinking in terms of a mobile command platform, protecting your key electronics, creating redundancy where it matters, and even having backup systems stored in shielded containers when they're not in use. It's about ensuring that when things go wrong, you still have options. And that's really what it's all about, options. Because once you start looking at your setup this way, your entire approach changes. No longer just building a vehicle for trails and trips. You're building something that can operate independently of the systems most people rely on every day. It doesn't mean going extreme or overbuilding everything. It means being intentional, knowing what matters, what's vulnerable, and what's you can realistically protect or replace. It also means accepting that you can't control everything, but you can control how prepared you are today. In a world where technology is becoming more advanced, more connected, and in many ways more fragile, resilience starts to stand out. The ability to keep moving, keep communicating, and keep operating when things aren't working the way they should, that's a real advantage. And it's not just about worst case scenarios, even smaller disruptions, electrical issues, component failures, unexpected conditions are easier to handle when you've already built in redundancy and protection. At the end of the day, this isn't about building a vehicle for the end of the world. It's about building a vehicle that doesn't depend on everything else going right. A rig that gives you control when systems around you start to fail. Because when you have that kind of independence, you're not just reacting to problems, you're staying ahead of them. So now imagine having this type of a vehicle built out, ready to go when you're out west and these wildfires come out. You're in the city and, well, same thing. Wildfires are happening or the riots are happening or whatever else big is going on, earthquakes. These types of vehicles that are resilient will be able to allow you to use the power line roads, the back roads, mountain roads that, or even going down some of these not so good trails if you have a smaller vehicle that can do it. So just remember all of these. It's giving you an advantage over everybody else so that you and your family have a better opportunity to come out ahead. All right. So thanks for coming by. As always, stay prepared, stay free.